The robber suddenly set down his rifle, then drew the knife from his chest holster. He backed up quickly in sync with his partner's movements while closing the distance between them. At the same time, he signaled for the hostages to stay quiet. Everyone watched in complete confusion, having no idea what was going on. Meanwhile, the other robber sensed something was off and turned around, but everything seemed perfectly normal. As the hostages looked on in bewilderment, the first robber placed his rifle on the ground. Then he pressed the knife against his partner's throat. He propped the body up against the counter, then dropped to the floor himself, positioning his body as if he'd been shot. The hostages were even more baffled now. Just then, a third robber emerged from the bathroom and immediately noticed the terror on the hostages' faces. Sensing something was wrong, he rushed toward his partners, only to find both of them completely motionless. Panicked, he tried to wake the one slumped against the counter, not realizing his partner was already dead. He quickly checked on the one lying face down on the floor, but couldn't find any wounds. He leaned in close to check for a heartbeat, unaware that Virag had already opened his eyes and was slowly raising his right hand, the one holding the knife. Just like that, Virag had effortlessly taken out 2 robbers. He pulled off his mask and smoothed down his messy hair. With the hostages staring in even greater confusion, he stripped off the robbers' clothes, stuffed them into a random cabinet, and casually took a seat among the hostages, looking completely innocent. Before long, 3 more robbers entered the hall where the hostages were being held. Seeing their dead partners, they flew into a rage and aimed their guns at the hostages, demanding to know who was responsible. While everyone else was panicking, Virag calmly tied his shoelaces. Then he raised his left hand and said he knew who did it. Under the bewildered gazes of the other hostages, Virag was escorted by 2 robbers to their boss. The boss told Virag that if he could identify the killer from the security footage, he'd let him go. He then stepped into the next room to call the police and deliver his demands for releasing the hostages. But in just the time it took to make that call, he returned to the surveillance room to find all his men lying on the floor, dead or unconscious, he couldn't tell. Before he could even react, Virag dropped down from above.